you had any recent discussions with Alan Joyce about the scale of the likely job losses this week?
Various people inside the government and inside the ministry have been in discussions with Qantas since late last year. We accept that Qantas are facing a tough and very competitive market. We accept that Qantas do have to compete with a ball and chain provided by the Qantas Sale Act, but in the end Qantas do have to get their own house in order. Now I acknowledge that they are doing a lot and have done a lot, but in the end Qantas do have to get their own house in order, and I no doubt will be involved in further discussions in the weeks and months ahead.
Given the problems that Qantas is facing and this $300 million loss they're expected to post on Thursday, should Alan Joyce fall on his sword?
I'm not going to get into management bashing here. What is important to Labor is that jobs are saved. What is important to Labor is that we have a national aviation carrier which remains in majority Australian hands. Clearly Qantas has got very difficult issues to face. Labor waits with great interest what the government will do. We do note, however, that they've said that they are going to amend the Qantas Sale Act, which will allow potentially foreign governments to buy the airline. 8 out of the 10 top airlines in the world are owned by foreign governments. Labor doesn't see why Australia should hand away a national icon to a foreign government. In addition, the Sales Act guarantees or requires jobs be kept in Australia. Labor is most concerned if the Abbott government's plan for jobs is to sell our national icon offshore and to send thousands and thousands of jobs offshore. That's not a plan for Australian jobs.
The government is philosophically attracted to levelling the playing field so that Qantas is able to operate fairly and equally with other airlines.
Instead of saying to Qantas, how can we assist you to keep jobs onshore and maintain a national carrier, it seems that Tony Abbott is saying, if you want our help, sack a few thousand workers first. The Coalition is unable to get work choices legislation through Parliament because of the Greens, so they're now using the big stick of government funding to drive their agenda, it seems. We are very worried that the dangling of the carrot of the debt guarantee is being done on the implicit understanding that Qantas will implement a brutal jobs-destroying agenda that will ultimately, we are worried, see the death of Qantas as a national carrier. But if Tony Abbott and Qantas think they've got this all stitched up and that Qantas is able to sack thousands of workers and send those jobs offshore and still ask for government support, then their plan may be in for a bit of a bumpy landing. If the government is required to bring legislation to give effect to the debt guarantee before Parliament, which we have some initial advice that they will be required to do, the Greens won't be waving it through without looking seriously at how we can protect local jobs.